Hello YouTube, Johnny here. Today I'm going to do a deck tech on my rat deck. There's my commander, Marrow-Gnawer. And now I'm going to talk about the lands a little bit. I run basic swamps. I run a Bojuka Bog. I run a Gargoyle Castle. I run a Swarmyard, which lets me regenerate target rat. This is a really interesting card. It's Thawing Glaciers. It comes into play tapped, but when you untap it, you can pay the 1, search for another land, and it comes into play. And that does not count for your land return. And then at the end of it, it just returns back to your hand. And then I run a Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. I also run a Barren Moor. I can either play it as a land or cycle it. I run a Leechridden Swamp. Leechridden, pardon me. I also run an Inkmoth Nexus in case I don't get any flyers, which there aren't any flying rats. So that turns into a 1/1 infect with flying. I also have a Mutavault. It can also turn into a creature. I run a Reliquary Tower for no maximum hand size. This is the last of the lands, I run a Strip Mine. And now for the majority of the deck, I run 35 Relentless Rats. Some more of my creatures do entail, I run a Crypt Rats, a Piper of the Swarm, which can create a rat. I also run Pack Rats, and its power and toughness is the amount of rats that I have in play. I run Ratcatcher. At the beginning of my upkeep, I may search my library for a rat card. I also run a flip card. The top part is Nezumi Graverobber. I exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. If there are no cards in the graveyard, it flips over. And when it flips over, it becomes Nighteyes of the Desecrator. So let's put this back to where it was. And now onto the artifacts. I run an exhibition map. A Sensei's Divining Top. A Umezawa's Jitte. A Bottled Cloister. Hope I pronounced that right. If not, I apologize. I run a Soul Ring. A Skullclamp. A Soul Foundry in case I wanted to imprint one of my Relentless Rats and just keep making them. Explorer's Scope for an artifact. Thornbite Staff. Aether Vial, just in case I get mana screwed. Caged Sun, giving my rats even more power and tapping my lands for 2. Jet Medallion to reduce the cost of my Relentless Rats. Thrumming Stone has the Ripple of 4 effect to get all my rats out. In case someone board wipes, I have a Grave Purge. And here is one of my win cons. It's Hatred. If I have my commander out and I cast that at instant speed when I'm declaring attack, I name an amount, say 20. I take 20 life, and if my opponent does not declare blocks, they die to commander damage. I have a Dark Ritual for mana ramp. I also have a Vampiric Tutor, a Death Denied. I get to tap 2 black and however many, and I return X amount of creature cards from your graveyard to my hand. A Diabolic Tutor, Patriarch's Bidding. Each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards of that type from his graveyard to play. I run Unearth. I also run Night's Whisper. I draw 2 cards, I pay 2 life. Sign in Blood. I draw 2 cards, I pay 2 life. Phyrexian Arena. It's a Howling Mine, except for I lose life for drawing the extra card. And the last one, I run a Planeswalker, Sorin Markov. If I neg 3 him, one of my opponent's life total goes to 10. And that is my deck talk for Marrow-Gnawer, Legendary Rat Rogue. And that'll be all. Have a nice night and happy gaming.